Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, it don't work without you guys. Well, we got our live stream done, thank goodness. Another Friday, closer, hopefully, to the football season. And I literally live for Monday nights and Friday nights to do the live stream. It's always so great to interact in real time with so many people and things, even with the trolls. I mean, we got Hawk in here, Hawk 215. It should be 420 is what it really should be, because it seems like every time he comes on here, he's been smoking some weed. But it's like I'm hanging out with all my friends and stuff, so I absolutely positively love it. Miss Jackie, who is always sharing stuff with me, and she's like my research department and things. I don't have to worry about always being there, because if I miss something, I know Miss Jackie's right there. And she sent me the link from Steve Biscotti, who's the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, and how they're dealing with social injustice. I've watched the first half of it. I got to watch the whole thing, and it's amazing how things are evolving around it. There's a lot of people who don't like it, but there's nothing to fear. If anything, all this stuff will make us a better country together. What's better? If we have to spend tons and tons of money on police and prisons and things, or that we don't have to spend that money, and instead of having to lock up people, they have an opportunity to make our country better. That's major. We spend so much money locking somebody up that if we made a small investment in educating somebody, giving them an opportunity, you'd be amazed at what we can accomplish as a country. So, interesting thing. I had a person tonight who was talking about Dak Prescott and things, and you could definitely tell that he is not on board with Dak Prescott. He was saying that without an elite quarterback, that Mike McCarthy is 3-8 or something like that, and that Dak Prescott isn't an elite quarterback. But it's funny because it seems like we've heard so many things that Dak Prescott's not. But now Pro Football Focus, who last year they were saying that he's a tier 3 quarterback, this year on the opposite end of the spectrum, because they're proving all these points that are kind of wrong. What we found out is under pressure, which a quarterback, you talk about the end of a game, we know how many come from behind victories we've had that he's made. I think 14. And when you think that Roger Staubach has 21 in his career, that's a pretty good start. But no matter what happens, instead of looking at it as a positive, people will find a way to say it's a negative. People will say because they're not blowing people out, that he's kept it close, and so that's why he has to come back and win. Well, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there who can't come back and win on those things, that wilt under the pressure. Amazing thing, here's another one of those stats. Quarterback to wide receiver combinations. Under pressure. Dak has thrown 5 TDs under pressure to Michael Gallup, which is tops in the NFL. The next one is 4. And we're seeing all these different categories that show you that Dak Prescott is up there with everybody else. For some reason, Carson Wentz gets passes, and they say you don't have talent. Tom Brady gets passes. Oh, he doesn't have a supporting cast. I'd say Tom Brady had the best defense in football, and the best best football mind in football, in Bill Belichick. a guy who, no matter who's his quarterback, doesn't skip a beat. We were handicapped by Jason Garrett. I don't know why people don't seem to see that, but he's not a Doug Peterson by any stretch of the imagination. I always find it amazing how they keep telling us how Carson Wentz can do things that, others can't. But I can't honestly look at the last 3 years and say Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than he was 3 years ago. But I can honestly look at Dak Prescott and say Dak Prescott is definitely a better quarterback than he was 3 years ago. And I guarantee you, year 5 will be lights out. Either Dak Prescott's going to get his contract and he's going to show you that he's worth every penny, or he's going to play in that franchise tag, in which case he's going to strengthen his arm, because all this stuff doesn't matter. Dak Prescott is like a throwback. He's a guy who puts in the work, puts in the effort, and leaves it all out on the field. It's not about just the money. It's about that desire to win, not to be beaten. Guy's tough. I don't know that I could take all of the criticism that he gets that nobody else has to shoulder. It's a lot of shit. I got to tell you, I'm a little bit worried. I'm worried that people seem to have forgotten the coronavirus. It was a year ago, right now, that me and Michael went to Puerto Rico for the first time. And I remember when I was telling people, hey, I'm going to Puerto Rico to rebuild some houses. And some people said to me, what are you talking about? The hurricane was 2 years ago. Why are you going to Puerto Rico? I said to rebuild houses. But that was so long ago. That's done. No, it's not. When you have something like that, a hurricane that comes through, it's years in the repairing. I can guarantee you right now in Houston, they're still rebuilding from that hurricane 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago now. Soon to be 3 years ago. And you have to understand that this coronavirus, you may be done with it. You may have forgotten, because we all have a short memory. We move on to the next thing, and the whole protest and rallies are what's in the news. Corona's in the back burner. But Corona is still there. Corona is still growing. We have over 2 million people have had the Corona. We have 120,000, somewhere around there, already that have died. And it's ticking back up. Some of y'all ain't taking it serious. It is better to err on the side of caution than to find out I should have done more. I pray for all of us. I really pray for all of us. So, it's been a long week. Got work to do in the morning. And I thank each and every one of you guys for being here and being part of the show. Be safe out there. I'll see you in the morning.